All right, what is up, drummers and drumettes? Welcome to today's video. I'm super excited for this because today we're talking about self-development through the drums. Okay, so I got a bunch of stuff written down over here and I'm excited to get into it. Self-development through the drums. This has been a topic that has been changing my life recently because I've been playing drums for over 20 years and I love this instrument. And as I grow as a human, I realize that everything I do can help me become the best version of myself. And I'm realizing even more recently that the best version of myself is really just the truest and purest version of myself. It's my true self, my authentic self. That's who I want to be. And so everything that I do can be used as a tool to help me become my true self and to express my true self. Okay, so the drums is the most potent tool for me to use as self-expression because it's an artistic way of expressing myself. I mean, when I talk, I'm expressing myself, but when I drum, I'm expressing my soul. I'm expressing my passion, what I am, right? And what I am is actually something that I've been asking myself for as long as I can remember. Who am I? This is the most powerful question you can ask. And just getting out of the Jewish high holiday, the Jewish New Year, it's been a time for self-introspection for myself, and I've come to some real clarity that who I am is a creative being who wants to live in love. I want to create beautiful things around me, and I want to love life. I want to be in love with life. So learning how to achieve that through the drums has been a truly rewarding journey, and I want to share some of that with you so that you can take this practice into your own drumming and into your own life. Okay, so let's get right into the first topic here, which is the heartbeat. Speaking of being a creator in love, the source of all rhythm in the world is the heartbeat. Think about it, the first sound you've ever heard was a heartbeat. Before you were even born, all you heard was the heartbeat of your mother. And that heartbeat was the only thing you knew and the only thing you needed to know. You heard that heartbeat all day, every day, and that kept you in sync with time itself and with your mother, with the only reality that you knew. So it all starts with the heartbeat. And we've been beating ever since. As drummers, we're all about the beat. So the first step in self-development, in developing a way of expressing your authentic self through the drums, is to realize that you come from drums, you come from rhythm. Rhythm is in your blood, literally coming from your heart. Our heart is constantly beating. There's a pulse to life itself. And as drummers, it's our job to express that pulse, to express the rhythm of life. And we all have a unique message, a unique beat that comes from our heart. And this is what a wonderful tool to explore your unique message and your unique rhythm of your heart. So, how many times have you sat down to the drums ready to start playing a beat and you don't really know where to start, but you just start playing and next thing you know it's 45 minutes, an hour later, and you're just kind of all drummed out. And a lot of us approach life like this in general. We show up to events in our life and we just jump right into it and hope for the best. But being your authentic self and being present gives you a whole another and a deeper experience of life. So when you sit down at the drums, the next time you sit down at the drums, I encourage you to wait a second before you even pick up the sticks. Sit around the drums and connect with your drums. Each drum here, each cymbal is a living being. It's a entity of itself. And this is kind of like my tribe, my family. This is my team, my friends. We play together. And each one has its own unique voice, its own unique shape, size, color. Take a few minutes to really just connect with your drums. You'd be surprised at how deep the experience is if you really give it a minute or two to connect, introduce yourself, allow the drums to speak to you, allow the cymbals to sing their potential. Think about it, every great drummer sat down in front of their drum set. All the potential was there in the drums already. All those amazing beats and solos and rhythms, those were all there already. They just needed to discover it and bring it out of the drums. So all of the greatness that you have to express through the drums are already in the drums. Now it's about you showing up and connecting and bringing that out of the drums. Now you're ready to pick up the sticks and play and discover. You see how deep this is? You see how much of a difference this can make in your experience as a drummer, as a musician, as an expressive being? And you can show up to all of life this way. When you show up to a conversation, if you're showing up to a family event, take a moment to connect with whatever it is that you're interfacing with. Be mindful of what's in front of you. And then approach it with that depth and that sensitivity and that deep desire to express your truest self and learn about what this has to offer. So now you've connected with your drums, it's time to start playing. Many of us just start playing whatever it is that we know, whatever it is that's fun. That's great. Now, when you try learning something new, we all know what that feels like. Literally like tying your brain in knots. I mean, drumming is a very physical instrument, and there's 4 main limbs that we're using, our 2 feet and our 2 hands. And we're crossing our hands, our feet are playing different pedals, we're playing different patterns with each limb. It's literally like a puzzle. And not only is it a puzzle, but it's like a physical puzzle, like a dancing puzzle. And it can be so hard and so confusing and frustrating. And that's all amazing, because that's life. That's what it means to be a human. It means to grapple with life, to grapple with whatever it is that we're trying to do. And in the process of discovering and gaining the skills to do what we want to do, we become who we want to be. We become who we truly are. It's almost like our soul wants to express itself, but our body needs to catch up. And that's why it's so important to take it slow. We all know that we want to just get right into it super fast, just play the thing, the first time we learn it, we want to try it fast. As soon as we feel like we might get it, we speed up and we just want to just fly it around the kit. But when you're willing to take it slow, you can really, first of all, you really get it better. Right? How many times have you tried to learn a new beat and tried to get it fast? It was too frustrating, you just moved on. Taking it slow is when you really start to get the feel for this new thing that you're doing. Anything that you're trying new, it's new. It's not going to be comfortable, it's not going to be easy. But when you take it slow, you can slowly train your body and mind to get into this new dance, this new flow. The slower the better in the beginning. And when you can take it slow, you're also really understanding what you're doing. You're more mindful of what you're doing. Oh, like these two go together, and then it's one over there and then one over there. And you're really learning it. It's not just like whipping it out, but it's really learning what makes up the rhythm. And when you know that, then you can start to create your own rhythms. You get ideas from different stick patterns, and when you understand why this pattern makes up this feel and makes up this groove, you can start to use those tips and hints inside of the groove to create your own grooves. Take it slow, my friend. You'll get there. So I mentioned that the puzzle and the dance and the frustration that comes with trying to learn something new. All these things are good because these are teaching things about yourself. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. So the drums are a great place. It's kind of like a mini world. When you sit down to the drums, you're sitting down to a mini version of reality of your life. And so pay attention to the way that you act when you're playing drums. Are you patient with your drums? Are you willing to keep it slow and learn about what you're doing and be involved? Or do you just want to play fast and do what's easy and comfortable and fun? And none of those are the wrong answer. But I'll bet that if you're the type that just wants to have fun on the drums and do what's easy, you're probably acting that way in other areas in your life. So the drums are a great place to discover who you are as a person. How do you act? What are your tendencies? And the opposite is also true. When you develop yourself and you develop your character in the drum room, you're also giving yourself skills and developing yourself in the real world, in the rest of your life. Frustration is a big one that comes up when you're trying to get that beat and it's just not going, you're not getting it, you keep on doing the same wrong thing. It's so frustrating. I've seen one drummer who every time he messed up, he would punch his floor tom, just punch it, almost like he was trying to punch right through it. And I get that. I feel that frustration sometimes when I'm playing. But the way that I handle my frustration is usually by taking a deep breath and going for it again. It's okay to fail. Just try again. I'll get it. And I usually do. I usually do get it in the end. But what's more valuable for me than just getting the beat is getting that strength, is getting that self leadership of not losing it when I'm getting frustrated. Rather, allowing myself to breathe through it and to keep going. What a powerful way to develop yourself, through the drums. Another powerful thing that we see in drumming is the hard work that you put in really pays off. We all know how long we've spent at the drums, getting blisters, maybe even bleeding, not playing outside with friends, instead of choosing to be inside practicing our rudiments or our fills. The hard work really pays off. The drums, like I said, is a microcosm of the world. Whatever you put in, that's what you get out. The more time you spend working on your sticking and your technique and your feel, the better you'll be. It's as simple as that. All great drummers spent hours and hours and hours practicing. There's no way around it. There's no shortcuts in reality. And the drums are so real. That's so true with the drums. The more you practice, the better you get. It's as simple as that. Now there's this experience that creatives, especially musicians, long for, because we've experienced it a few times, and having experienced it, we've seen the magic in the experience of getting into a flow state. A flow state is when you're completely lost in the sauce. Time stops, you're playing, and it becomes almost like you're not even playing anymore, but the music is playing you. You become one with the instrument, you become one with the sounds, and you transcend yourself, your egoic self, and you merge with the great oneness that is. That is one of the most beautiful experiences. If you have never experienced that, I encourage you to keep playing, because you will. And what the beautiful thing is that you can't force it. It just happens. And when it does, you know it's happening, and it's beautiful. There's been studies on how to, what's going on in this flow state and how to induce a flow state, but really, I think the more you try, the less it'll happen. The key is to really pursue drums as a way of self-expression. When you're super present with your drums, especially if you connected with them before you started playing, and you're using the drums and rhythms as a way of expressing your authentic self and merging with the great self, the great spirit, right? Because our inner spirit is an expression of the great spirit, of the great oneness that connects everything in the universe. So when you play drums from that intention, it will lead you to the experience of oneness that we all crave so deeply. Now, we can't talk about self-expression without talking about your unique voice, because we're all unique. Like I said, we all have a soul, we all have a spirit that's a piece of the great spirit. But we were all given a unique piece, and a unique message, and a unique voice. We all have a unique body that we get to express it through. So self-expression and self-development is about understanding yourself and knowing yourself, and also being able to express that truest inner self. I'm not talking about your ideas or your opinions. Those are great. You can express those in any way that you want. But I'm talking about your spirit message to the world, that one piece of the puzzle that really speaks to you and actually speaks from you. What is your message to the world as a drummer, as a musician, as a creator? What energy, what emotion do you want to deliver? And how are you going to deliver that through your drums, through your instrument? I want you to think about that every time you sit down to the drums, and even when you're not sitting down to the drums. Think about it in the shower. Think about it when you're going to sleep, when you're brushing your teeth. What is your unique message? What are you here to bring, to teach? And how can you teach that through your drums? Whether it's drum set or a djembe or a cajon, whatever it is that you use to express your soul. What is it that you're expressing? This is really a beautiful exercise and a meditation, and drums is perhaps one of the most challenging ways to express yourself, because it's just kind of tones here and there. It's not like a melody where there's a lot of emotion in the melody. But I challenge you to express yourself through the drums, to try to speak with the drums and see what comes up, see what comes out. Last but not least, let's talk about the concept of play, because after all, that's what we're doing. We're playing drums. And I love that it's called playing, because that's a reminder that we're here to have fun. We're here to play. As kids, we know this innately. We know that we're here to play. We're here to have fun. Our imaginations are running wild, and everything that we're doing is play. Have you ever seen a kid eat? They're playing with their food. If you see a kid getting dressed, they're playing with their clothing. They're playing dress up. Everything is play. And let's not lose this as adults. As adults, we're here to play on more sophisticated levels. We're here to realize that all of life is play. Your relationships, your job, okay? Everything that you do is play. And like I said, the drums are a microcosm of the universe, of life. Everything you do in the drums can be translated into life. When you play drums, when you come to your drums as a way of play, everything becomes less serious. And when I mean less serious, I mean it doesn't define life, right? We've all had good practices, we've all had bad practices. We've all had good shows and bad shows. That doesn't define who you are as a person. That doesn't define your day or your life. It's just play. We're just here to play, to discover, to create. We're playing together. And so too in life, we're here to play. We're here to celebrate. So let's not forget to celebrate life. Don't take life too seriously. It's okay. Yeah, you might be having issues. We all have problems. We all go through struggles. That's part of life. But when you approach it as play and not as a game, let's distinguish between a play and a game, because a game implies that there's a winning and a losing. It implies competition. And in life, there's no competition. It's just you expressing your true self. It's you being you. How can you lose at that? How can you be better at that at someone else? Only you can be you. Nobody can be you better than you. So there's no competition in play, in life. When you play with life, we're all playing together. There's no competition. It's not me against you. It's me with you. I'm playing with you. Let's remember to celebrate life, to play with life, and to sing our unique song. Peace.